Now, the first major asbestos bankruptcy was filed in 1982 by the Johns Manville Company. They were the largest manufacturer of asbestos in the world, and their asbestos was in just about everything that had asbestos. So it made front page news when they filed this bankruptcy because at the time it was the largest corporate bankruptcy in the world. And many years after filing the bankruptcy, an asbestos trust was set up that put Johns Manville money and Johns Manville's insurance money aside into a trust to compensate victims. Now, when this happened, it was very new and novel, and it led to some developments in the law because Johns Manville's trust kind of blazed a trail. Now, eventually, Congress amended the U.S. Bankruptcy Code. Section 11 U.S. Code, Section 524G is where asbestos bankruptcies are filed under today. 524G is the portion of the code that allows a company to file a bankruptcy based on their asbestos liabilities. There's three requirements. The first is that the remedy of filing this special bankruptcy is only available for companies who have asbestos liabilities. You can't do it for anything else. Second, when the trust is set up, it has to be at least partially funded by stock of the actual asbestos company. Most of the trusts are funded also with insurance proceeds and some cash, but they can put their stock up so the trust becomes a major shareholder. In fact, the resulting trust must either own or have the ability to own the majority of the voting shares of the original company. So it hands a lot of control over to the trust while that is getting set up to make sure that the underlying company is doing what it needs to do to keep the trust funded. Now, trusts are approved by the United States Bankruptcy Court, and the trustees are appointed by the judge who runs that particular bankruptcy of that trust. So trustees are attorneys that are appointed after, showing they're reliable, they're good attorneys, no disciplinary issues, and usually have some, as they say, skin in the game. So some of the trustees who are running the asbestos trusts are asbestos insurance defense attorneys, and some of the trustees are asbestos plaintiffs lawyers, people who do what I do for a living. So there's a mix of trustees on each side of it, and then there's some neutral trustees that have nothing to do with it, and they run the trusts on a day-to-day basis. So that's how trusts get set up. A company files for bankruptcy, a court approves their plan, and then they fund it with some of their stock, their insurance, some cash, things like that. And then once the trust is set up, then claims can be filed.